When most people picture Las Vegas, they imagine bright lights and casinos, but beneath the surface, the city is actually bursting with business potential. Now, this absent of a state income tax, a pro-business local government, and a rapidly growing population make Las Vegas a dream for entrepreneurs who really want to launch quickly and keep more of their profits. Now, Nevada is ranked among the friendliest states for business owners in the entire nation, not just because of the tax perks, but also for its streamlined filing and welcoming small business environment. So if you're really looking at Vegas and you think maybe you'll start here, let me go ahead and in this video, step by step, I'm going to explain everything you need to know. Now, before you bet it all on your next big idea though, let's talk about how to make sure that your first step, which is the name, is a winner. Now, before we jump in too deep here, here's one thing to keep in mind. So starting your business, this should be an exciting thing and not an overwhelming thing. But forming an LLC on your own, that can get really confusing fast, with all the legal forms, rules, and easy to miss details. Now, I will walk you through everything in this video, step by step. But if any part of this feels confusing, I've got a favorite LLC formation service that makes the whole process super simple and stress-free. It's guided, beginner-friendly, and it only costs $39. So if you hit any bumps along the way, go ahead and click right up here to get step-by-step help setting up your LLC the easy way. All right, so let's get back into the name here. So here's a rookie mistake, which is picking a catchy name, skipping the rules, and getting rejected by the state. Now in Nevada, every LLC name must include limited liability company, or abbreviations like LLC or LLC. Your name also needs to be totally unique, so it can't be similar to another business that's in Nevada. Now there is even a free online search tool that you can use through the Nevada Secretary of State's website, which by the way is linked to below, along with every other resource that we mentioned in this video. Now, once you're in the clear with the name, it's time to think about your registered agent. So let's dive into that. All right, so every single LLC in Nevada needs what they call a registered agent, which is someone with a real Nevada address, no PO boxes allowed, who can accept legal documents, tax mail, and state notices during normal business hours. Now, you could be your own agent, but your name and address, they do go on public record, so it really does destroy your privacy. And you must be physically present at that location during regular business days and hours. That's why so many LLC owners, they prefer professional registered agent services. Now, personally, my preferred provider, which I've used myself, is Northwest Registered Agent. They're really known for their strong privacy protections, excellent customer support, and really straightforward pricing. Now, if you hire them to help form your LLC, the cost is only $39, which is lower than a lot of competitors. And get this, you can actually use their business address on your public filings, which keeps your home address private and cuts down on spam mail. So if you want to check them out at any point during the video, just go ahead and click right up here to learn more. But why does this matter so much? Well, if you miss a legal document, you could get fined, sued, or even have your LLC suspended. So pick your agent before you file the rest of your paperwork, as it is much more important than most people give it credit for. Now, speaking of the rest of your paperwork, next is your Articles of Organization, which is an important document if you want to be recognized by the state. And, spoiler, you do want to be recognized, I promise. Now, to make your Las Vegas LLC official, you must file the Articles of Organization with the Nevada Secretary of State. In addition to that, Nevada requires that you file an initial list of managers and members and apply for a state business license. Those three filings are mandatory and together add up to about $425 in state fees when forming your LLC. And I'll give you a detailed cost of each requirement later in the video here, but stay tuned for that. And you can file these documents online or by mail, and most people prefer online filing just for the speed and ease. Now, once approved, you'll receive confirmation that your business is legitimate with the state. And then it's time to move on to creating your internal playbook, which is the operating agreement. So an operating agreement for your Las Vegas LLC is really an internal document that acts as your company's kind of playbook for how everything works. It really lays out, who owns the business and what percentage each member actually gets, who manages the day-to-day operations and how decisions get made, how profits and losses are divided among the owners, the process for admitting new members or handling someone that's leaving, how voting works on major business issues, what happens in case of a dispute, dissolution, or unforeseen events. Now here's the thing, if you don't have your own agreement set up, Nevada law will really set those rules for you, and the state's default rules might not match how you want to run your company. Now, creating this, it's really not all that difficult. Just go ahead and look online for templates or use an AI platform to help you draft one. It's not all that complicated. But it's important to know, too, that banks and often landlords, they ask for an operating agreement to prove your LLC is real and that your business structure is legit before they'll let you, open accounts or sign leases. And this document, it also helps protect your personal assets, even if you're a one-man show, by clarifying your limited liability status. Now, while it's not technically required to file it with the state, like I said, it is crucial that all members sign this document and keep a copy of it on file. That way, if anything ever does go sideways, right, you have a clear guide that everyone agreed to up front. Now, from here, you'll need what they call an EIN to hire employees and open a business bank account. So let's cover that here next. So if your Vegas business needs to open a business bank account, pay employees, or stay on the IRS's good side, which you want to do, you'll need an EIN, which is the employer identification number from the IRS. Think of your EIN as your business's social security number, right? It's how the federal government really identifies your LLC for tax purposes. And it is mandatory for multi-member LLCs and for really any LLC that's planning to hire staff, but even a single member LLC should get one, as most banks will require it before you can even open a business bank account. Now, applying for your EIN is really quick, it's free, and it's done entirely online once your articles of organization are filed. Just head over to the official IRS website to fill out the application. It really takes probably 5 to 10 minutes, and then you submit it. And once it's submitted, it is instantly sent over to you right there on the screen. So it's super easy to get. Now, with your EIN in hand, you're almost at the finish line here. So next up is understanding the compliance steps for staying legal as a Las Vegas LLC. Now, while Nevada is famous for no state income tax, you'll still need specific licenses and to meet some reporting requirements to keep your business legal. Now, every LLC must renew its state business license and file an annual list of managers or members, which is $350 total. And depending on your industry, you might need a local business license from the city of Las Vegas as well. Professional permits for trades like salons, food service, construction, things like that, or health and safety inspections. Now, for example, a Las Vegas cafe will need both a city business license and a food handler's permit, while an online consulting business may only need state registration. Now, the Nevada Silver Flume Business Portal, which again is linked to below, is really the fastest way to see what your business actually needs and to file everything directly online. Now, that said, let's go ahead and break down what all this is going to cost up front for the first year and each year thereafter, so you understand the costs and you're not really taken by surprise. Okay, so let's talk about your first year startup costs, right? Your articles of organization filing fee, that's $75 required, one-time state fee to form your LLC. Then the state business license, that's the initial one, $200 that is required, must be renewed annually. Then an initial list of managers and members, that's $150 required, and it's due when forming your LLC. Next, we have the Las Vegas City business license, which is $100 to over $300 depending, and it is usually required, and it depends on your business type. From there, registered agent service, it's $39 if you use Northwest Registered Agent, which is the ones that will actually help you with all this LLC formation. And good news there is the first year of those registered agent services are actually for free. Then we have miscellaneous permits and professional licenses. This could be $0 or it could be over $500. This really depends if your industry is regulated or not and exactly what you're doing. So the estimated first year total, probably about $625 to could be over $1,500, with the higher range of that depending on the city permits and optional services that you actually need. Now next here, let's get into the ongoing annual costs. So the state business license renewal, that's $200 every year, that's required. Then an annual list of managers and members, $150 per year, that's required. Next, the Las Vegas business license renewal, that's again, $100 to $300. Again, it just depends on your business type, but that's also required. From there, we have the registered agent fee. Again, it's $125 per year if you use Northwest Registered Agent to stay in compliance. And then industry-specific permits or licenses could be $0, could be over $500. Again, just depends on your business type, and you'll figure that out in the first year. But the estimated ongoing total in most years is probably going to cost around $450 to, it could be over $1,000 depending on what your business is actually doing. Now, again, to help with all this, I do advise you to use a service like Northwest Registered Agent, which again, you can click right up here to check out, as they'll really help you stay in compliance year after year while you focus on the most important thing, which is running a profitable business. Now, if you have any questions for me or you're a little bit confused about the process, no problem at all. Go ahead and drop me a comment below, and I will do my absolute best to help you out as soon as possible. As always, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.